community. Mwah! Hi guys. So tonight I want to talk to you about a talk that I went to a couple of days ago here in Hong Kong. And it was, so I'm just looking over here because I've got my notes that I've written down below, but I can't see those notes. So anyway, you'll see me do this occasionally, okay? I should actually anyway, we're just going to do with what we got. So anyway, it was done by a guy called Stuart Sharpless. Now he he was all into many different intense activities like whitewater rafting and rock climbing and all those kinds of things. And he went on to develop a company that does that for corporates, organizes like adventures for corporates. He's got some filming that he does on the side. And he's done a lot of things. He's built up a lot of different organizations. And I found him very, very inspiring in what he spoke about. Now, I know I'm constantly kind of talking to you guys about if there is something out there that you want to be doing with your life and something you want to achieve and a dream that you have, then it's not about going and quitting your job and like just doing that 100%, but it's certainly about giving that some time and perhaps looking at how it is. It says poor connection. I hope we're still live. It's definitely about taking exceptional distance baby steps to actually just do something about that, right? So you feel like you're at least taking action, and be kind and generous to yourself in the process. So he talked about some points that you can look at when you're looking to do something in your life and you're probably freaking out a little bit about it and you think to yourself, oh, I don't want to do that. But think about these points that he's raised, and I thought that they were really, really helpful. Point number one. So before you do that, you've got your idea in your head. You want to organize a dance retreat, perhaps. That could be something. Firstly, point number one, what could go wrong? Okay, so you've got whatever it is that you want to do, guys. Whatever it is you want to do. Nothing's too crazy, nothing stupid. Whatever it is you want to do, what you feel you want to do here, you should be doing. Okay, or taking baby steps, just something to achieve that, just something to achieve it. So firstly, what could go wrong? Write that down. Secondly, how can you prevent that from going wrong? Okay, point number 2. 3, what if it does go wrong? What do you do? Okay, what do you do? Planning, really, really planning. So it's all about looking at it, and actually when you lay it out, maybe it doesn't look so scary. Okay. Number 4, when it all fails, what do you do? Okay. Number 5, I love this one, and I can say hand on heart from personal experience that it is so important, so important. So number 5 is, what support do you have? Okay, guys, I talk a lot about the importance of your tribe. I talk about the fact that your tribe is your vibe. If there's something you want in your life, and I've read this in so many books as well, hang around with the people that believe it's possible. Okay, hang around with the people that believe it's possible. And if you've got people in your life that you love so dearly and they're not supporting your dreams, then perhaps it's time to just walk away from them for a little bit while you just want to really focus on this. Give them love, respect, honor them, but maybe it's just time to not hear the negativity around whatever it is your dream is, so that you can actually start to really bring it forward to the world, because whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. I believe it. I don't care what it is. You can do it. You can do it. And if you guys want to reach out to me and talk to me about that, message me. We'll have a chat. I'm happy to do that. I really want everybody to see their dreams come true. Next, point number 6. How can you take small steps? Now, we know I love that point because I'm all about small steps and exceptional existence. So how can you take small steps to move towards what it is that you want in life? And 7 is, what is the education moment? So if, say, for example, something doesn't go right, or if it does go right, what is the educational moment there? What have you learned? Take time to stop and check in and figure out what it is that I've learned in this situation. Really, 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 really important, because when you check in, you acknowledge, you accept, you learn, whether it be positive or negative, you then have grown. You've grown. You don't want to miss that opportunity for growth. So, guys, you know what? I might bring this to life with an example that happened 10 years ago now. So 10 years ago, I decided to quit my job and move with one of my very dear and beautiful girlfriends that I grew up with to a place I'd never been to before, Dubai, during a financial crisis. So those stories that maybe some of you may be familiar with about people like leaving, like deserting their cars and their debts and fleeing, that actually happened. I saw it. We saw it. So we quit our jobs that were really, really good. We were really, really doing very well, and it was all looking great, and we just couldn't. We wanted so badly to have this overseas experience, to work and live overseas. And so we did. We quit our jobs and we went with 20 kilos to a place we'd never been to before with no work. We did try to get it before we left. I'm just going to say that. But, you know, at the time I was freaking out, and I had support around me. There's probably about 5 or 6 people I could name right now who were there like, Lou, you got to do it. You got to go. You got to go. You've got to do this, including my best friend, Sophie. She was like, you've got to do this. This is in you. You've got to go. You just have no option but not to go, but to not go. Too many negatives. Anyway, so we leave, and my parents like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you crazy? But people kept saying to me, point of what could go wrong? Okay, I could find no job. I could run out of money. I could have to come home. But then people were saying, well, Lou, you just come home. If it doesn't work, you just come home, right? You're taking huge risk. You've given up your life here. You're packing up your life and you're going. But if it doesn't work out, you just come back. Right? And when you start to think that and you start to look at it, it doesn't look so big. It doesn't look so scary, right? You just come home. So then how do you prevent that? Well, you try and plan before you leave. You connect with recruiters. You go there. And what I did was I made looking for a job like a job. So I would get up in the morning religiously at 7:30, 8 o'clock, go to the gym, and then I'd be sitting in front of a computer at 9 o'clock, figuring out who I could meet, where I could go, who I could link in with. Because then at that point, I thought, you know what, when I find a job, I cannot have said that I could have found one earlier, because I put everything I had into this. Weekdays were sacred. They were job finding times. Weekends were for fun, I must say. And what if it does go wrong? What do? You go home. You just go home. But you certainly don't give up on your dream, right? You just don't give up on your dream. And when it fails, what do? So you lick your wounds, you go back home to a place where you can find a job, right? Because that's where you came from, that's your home, that's where you've got your network. But you tried it. Now, the support was, as I mentioned, I had friends that were like, Lou, you got to go. Like, they believed I needed to go more than I believed I needed to go. And that was so important. If I hadn't have had that network of people that supported me and believed it was possible, I would have literally not gone to Dubai. I would not have gone to Dubai. Okay. And then also, how do you make small steps? So in the beginning, you know, I slowly moved out of my apartment. I was like trying to touch base with recruiters. I was looking at the market. I was thinking, should I go somewhere else? I was doing lots of research. Then we kind of got there and we took baby steps. We didn't take a lease. We took a sublease. We, you know, stayed with people we knew. All these baby steps that you can take to walk towards your dream before you actually are in it and living it. Educational moments. Look, I don't think we expected the fear and the anxiety and the, oh my God, what the hell are we doing on the other side? But wow, I'll tell you what, it moves your comfort zone to another level. So you think you can get through that, you can get through so much more than you think you ever could once you've gone through that sort of experience where you've got no job, no home, financial crisis, no one's going to give you a job. They're all telling you, what are you doing here? We've just made like half of this place redundant. What makes you think you're going to find a job? But you know what? It all worked out. And I can tell you something, guys. If I hadn't have made that move, if I hadn't have gone to Dubai 10 years ago, my life would have been so different. And it has been so incredible and so rich. And I've traveled all over the world and I've met incredible people. And I've spent my time with incredible people, both in relationships and friendships. And